We were muted.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, shoot.
Welcome back to my kitchen. I'll just say all that we just said. My name is Becky. This is my husband, Josh, over
Hello,
here.
your expert audio engineer.
Yeah, he's running the IT side of this. And today we are giving away, we partnered with GreenStalk to give away 10 of these original GreenStalk planters. Yes, I did wheel them into my kitchen, and I will have to probably sweep up just a little bit after, but that's okay. Now, what we were saying is that we're not going to start the giveaway till 1:45 because GreenStalk is going to give us the final list at 1:45, just in case any of you have not had a chance to fill out or to enter the giveaway, basically. Josh said...
Yeah, so we'll be getting the final list at 1:45 our time, Pacific time. So we've got another 13 minutes. If you haven't entered yet, we have it posted in the description. It's the first link in the description, and there's a pinned comment. And
what Josh is going to do is he's going to get that list, and then he has a random generator.
Yeah, there's a program that I'm going to use.
Yes.
It'll show up on the screen so you can see that, it's...
Who won.
It's doing stuff.
And it's going to take him, once we get that list from GreenStalk, it's going to take him just a couple minutes. So we're going to work on some fun projects that I need to do anyway in the kitchen while we wait. And what we're giving away are the original size planters, which is this one right here. This has, what is 6 times 5, right? 6 times 5 is 30. This has 30 pockets, so in 2 square feet, you can plant 30 plants. This planter just has petunias in it. I have one out there just like this that I just planted up that has 30 pepper plants in it. And if you're the winner, you get to choose the color and texture that you want. This is just what I have. This happens to be the basket weave texture, but there is a smooth texture one. And then I want to mention that there is a big Mother's Day sale going on with GreenStalk right now, and the sale includes both the original size and the leaf size. So the pockets are a little bit smaller. And this you can have, Josh, what's 6 times 7?
6 times 7 is 42.
42? You can have 42 plants in this one, and this one is planted up in Calibracoa. So I thought it would be fun just to bring these in here so you can see what they look like. I also have 3 of this size planted up in strawberries. Was there anything else? So just a little disclaimer when it comes to giveaways. Whenever giveaways happen online, it tends to bring out the scammers. So what we're going to do is after Josh draws the names, we're going to announce the names. Josh is going to put it on the screen. And then we are going to call you personally after the live. Josh and I are going to give you a call, tell you you're the winner. And then what's going to happen is GreenStalk is going to email you, and then you can tell them what size, or this is the size that we're giving away, but you can tell them the texture and color you want. So unless you see your name on the screen and get a call and an email from GreenStalk, we're not going to ask for any money. Shipping is included. Everything is included. So
it's free in any case. Yes.
No
shipping. That's the big thing, though. Usually the scammers will try to get you to pay for advanced shipping of like $150 or something. And there's no shipping. It's no charge for those that win. You
don't have to purchase anything. We just need your phone number so we can call you so that you know that you're the winner.
And we'll probably try calling, because the person that won might not be watching this live necessarily. So based on your area code, we might make some calls like later this evening or after work time, I would think. So East Coast will probably call right after. West Coast will probably call in a few hours just to make sure you're, home, hopefully.
That's a good idea. So what we're going to do while we're waiting for the last few names to come in is I bought some onions at the farmer's market from a local farmer that I knew grew these onions and harvested them last year. And I bought these because we just had yesterday a spring dinner for a family friend who had an amazing job opportunity across
the pond.
Yeah. And so he's going to be moving for a few years. So Josh had him over and I did a big dinner. And I bought these onions because I was going to pickle them for one of the salads, but I decided to do some other types of pickles, which I can't wait for you to see. I pickled cherries, which sounds unique, but it was delicious.
They were good. I did choke on one.
Josh bit one and he wasn't expecting it to kind of burst like a cherry
juicy.
tomato. But they were so good. I love pickles, and I had never thought to pickle fruit before. And I'm going to be doing more of that, which is going to be kind of a fun thing that I'm going to do this summer. But all that to say, these onions were grown last year, and they are starting to sprout, so I need to do something with them or they are gonna go bad. So we love pickled onions on almost any sort of thing, tacos, salads, burrito bowls. What else do we like? Salads, I said that. Hamburgers.
I'm blanking. Yeah, we throw it on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's just,
Hash.
we kind of use pickled onions as a condiment. So I thought I would just go ahead and do that with you.
Tacos,
because you can see they're starting to sprout a little bit. And so that's what we're gonna do. I'm also gonna go ahead and feed my sourdough starter because I want to do some sourdough baking in the next couple days, and that's been sitting in my fridge for quite some time and it needs to come back to life. So if you've never quick pickled vegetables, it is so easy. We're not gonna can this, we're not gonna cook this. We are just going to pickle it right in the jar. And I like having these on hand because they make a delicious condiment. And the pickled fruit was really interesting. So for Christmas, I got this cookbook, 6 Seasons by Joshua McFadden. He's a local Portland chef. And he was a farmer. After he went to culinary school, he became a farmer for 2 years. And he really loves seasonal produce. And he talks a lot about pickling in there. And I love pickles, so I really enjoyed the whole section about pickles. And he pickles a lot of fruit. So the pickled cherries came from that book. And he said his favorite pickled fruit is pickled melon. So this summer, I want to try pickling.
Interesting.
You know, you hear of like pickled, what are they called?
Peppers?
No. Pickled, it's a big melon that's pink inside.
You mean watermelon?
Yes, that's the word. Yes. Pickled watermelon rinds, but he likes pickled like honeydew melon.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's good, I think. So we're going to try that this summer.
Just to clear up some questions.
Yeah, go for it.
Just about the giveaway. So we've got another 7 minutes, I believe, if my math is correct. You do have to be in the U.S. and you have to be 18 years and older. And yes, it's 1 entry per person. I will be deduplicating multiple entries. So if you know your husband or you or your wife or whatever, you can. It's not 1 per household. It's 1 per individual. Over 18.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to clear my plate. You can see that these onions are starting to sprout. So they're still perfectly good to eat. They just are actually wanting to send up a shoot so that they can produce seed. Onions are what are called biannuals. So basically what an onion wants to do is you plant an onion seed, it grows the onion bulb, and then if you leave that in the ground, it'll go dormant over winter, and then the next year it'll shoot this up and it'll grow a flower to produce seed. So it only produces seed every other year. So I've seen these videos online where you can plant like this part of an onion, the onion root, and you can plant this and it will grow, but it's not going to grow an onion bulb because it already did that. It's going to grow basically just a green onion with a big flower on the top. So if you want to grow a green onion to produce a flower to collect seed from the grocery store, you could do that, and you could eat the green part, but it wouldn't make a bulb. Okay, let me get this out of here. I'm going to get a paper towel to wipe up my cutting board here. I just got my knife sharpened, so we went to the farmer's market last weekend. There's a local knife sharpener.
The patron saint of knives.
Yeah, patron saint of knives. And you can go to the farmer's market and he'll sharpen your knives while you shop at the farmer's market. And it had been way too long since I've had my knives professionally sharpened. I only got half of them sharpened, so next time I go, I'll bring the other half of my knives.
That's a great service.
He also, you can, if you live locally, you can drop them off at his house and he will sharpen them and then you can pick them up. He has like a little drop box system.
It's like lockers.
Yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just cut these onions nice and thin. Nothing super fancy about this. And you know what I'm going to do so that this isn't rocking? I need to get in the habit of putting a towel under my cutting board. This cutting board is almost 11 years old now, so it does wobble just a little bit.
We also have a tile countertop, which is
Not even, probably.
not super even. I think that might be the
That
culprit.
might be. I was blaming the cutting board, but I never thought about it actually being my counters, not even. Why am I having such a hard time? There we go.
It looks like fun though.
Okay. I just have a mason jar here, and before I slice all those, I'm just going to push this out of the way just a little bit. I'm going to put some sugar in the bottom of that. You don't have to do that. The cool thing about quick pickling is it's very low stakes. You can kind of add whatever flavor ingredients you want. I think I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar and maybe about a teaspoon. That's pepper. I could add pepper to it too. I've never added pepper to a quick pickle. If you didn't want the little pepper flakes, you could add whole peppercorns, but that's what I have, so that's what I'm going to add. I'm now going to add about a teaspoon of salt and just a little bit of vinegar to start dissolving it. A lot of recipes say to heat it up to dissolve it, but we aren't going to eat these right now, so I can just let the sugar and salt dissolve. No need to get a pan out to heat this up.
All right, we've got 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes?
2 minutes left.
Okay. But then you have to put it together, right?
Then I have to put it together,
Okay.
but 2 minutes to enter.
2 minutes to enter. Okay.
And for people asking, yeah, I will deduplicate phone numbers. So if you're entering like a spouse or something, use their phone number, not yours, because it will get taken out. So.
Okay, so that's a good point, Josh.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I do have to be careful about these knives though, because they are sharp. He actually, when he gives them back to you, he gives you a Band-Aid.
They are very sharp.
Yeah.
You've had a couple of.
Yeah, I've may
Nicks
have
already.
already nicked myself a couple times.
All right, so we have had a couple people ask about the bees.
Oh yeah, that's a great thing.
We
to
have
talk
an
about.
update video coming out, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. That's going to be very soon, I believe.
Yeah.
So I won't give away everything, but we did get bees.
Yep.
We got the 2 nukes, and we were able to find the queens this time. Last year, we could not find the queens. In fact, now that I've seen the queens, I'm suspicious that we ever had queens in the other one because they're pretty hard to miss. So I'm not sure if last year, if the nukes were just duds or missing the queens. I'm not sure, but we've got them. They're buzzing around, very active. One hive is more active than the other, but they're both very, very active, and I'm excited. It's fun to have them.
We are really enjoying them. It's kind of our nightly routine to go out and check on them, and we just kind of stand there and stare at them. And they're really calm bees again, which is nice. They don't seem aggressive.
No,
I know that
definitely
it's
not.
not super hot out yet, and they can get more active, the warmer it is, but it's really fun to see. They are, some of them that have been going out and collecting pollen are out there just buzzing around, and they have, their little legs are just like full of pollen.
There's so much pollen right now.
Yeah.
The trees, the fir trees and stuff around our house, if the wind gusts, it's just a big plume of yellow. So they've got plenty to pick up.
You can also use a mandolin to do this if you'd like. But I just grabbed my knife. I might not be able to fit all of these onions in this jar. And I am going to use just white distilled vinegar because that's what I grabbed. Normally when I make pickled red onions, I use red wine vinegar. But I am all out up here and I did not feel like going down and grabbing it. So we're just going to use what I have up here, and white wine vinegar is going to be delicious. That's why I added a little bit of sugar, just to add a little bit more flavor. Normally when I make red onions, I don't add sugar. Sometimes I do. And then what I like to do next is add the onions, and I put the brine on top. One thing I just started doing this because if you mix up your brine, sometimes you don't know exactly how much brine you need. So if I pour the brine in the jar after I have put the onions in, then I don't have a bunch of leftover brine.
Okay, so it is now time's up.
Okay.
If you enter now, you can still enter, but it's not going to do anything. So the form is not offline, but we are no longer taking entries. So There, I'm now just waiting for GreenStalk to send over the final list, and then I'm going to process that, and then we'll make a selection. Hopefully, it doesn't take me too long to deduplicate and clean everything up. But so if you click that link now, you can technically put your name and stuff in, but it won't count. Becky's going to wash her hands.
I forgot that I was going to add. I'm not going to add any red pepper flakes. I was going to add red pepper flakes, but because I added the black pepper, I don't want these to be too spicy for other people in my family. But I have some whole coriander seed, and I thought that that would be good in there. So I'm just going to put maybe, I don't know, that much, maybe like a teaspoon. Again, you don't have to measure really. And if you like things more sour, you add more vinegar. The kind of gold standard is 1 part vinegar to 1 part water. But I usually like things a little bit more tart, so I usually do like 2/3 vinegar, even 3/4 vinegar to 1 part water. And this will last a really long time in your fridge. It doesn't last us a very long time because we put it on everything. And I'm gonna try really hard to get all of the onions in here. If you want your pickles to be done quicker, heating the brine up on the stove will kind of wilt the vegetables a little bit quicker. Since we're in no rush to have these, I can just pour the brine on cold and then they will kind of wilt over time. Now, normally I probably would not fill it this full, but I don't feel like getting another jar out just for these few pickles. And they will kind of wilt down. And what you can do with the vinegar or with the brine is you can use it as a salad dressing base because it has so much flavor. I'm just going to slowly pour in that vinegar. And I did get water out because I was going to put some water in there, but it looks like I'm not gonna be able to even shake this very well, but that's okay. What I will do is put on this airtight lid. I love these plastic leak-proof lids. And to help get that sugar and seasoning kind of distributed, I will just set this on my counter for the next, I don't know, couple hours or so, and I'll just rotate it. Normally, I don't pack it that tight, and so I can usually give it a good shake and kind of mix the ingredients around a little bit, but we made that work. So let me kind of clean this up a little bit. So when it comes to pickling, you can use whatever kind of vinegar you want. The recipe in Josh's cookbook that I pickled the cherries actually combined vinegars. I had never thought to combine vinegars before. It called for rice wine vinegar and white wine vinegar, and I thought that that was brilliant and it tasted fantastic. And also his recipe, which I had never thought about doing before either, called for putting fresh thyme in the pickle. So you packed it with like 2/3 cherries, you put some fresh sprigs of thyme, packed more cherries, some more thyme, packed more cherries, poured the brine over the top, and it was delicious. Okay. So now I'm going to pour off some of this liquid that's on the top. I am absolutely by no means a sourdough expert, not even close. Probably you that are sourdough aficionados are going to cringe at this, but this is how I've been doing it. I pour that off because I heard that, and then I'm going to mix this together. It can make it more of a sour sourdough if you mix that back in. I'm just going to pour a little bit in here. And I'm going to pour some, well, I'm going to pour a little bit more. I'll just pop this back in my fridge. I generally like using a clean jar because I just like the aesthetics of that. Then I'm going to put in some water. And I usually do about equal parts water, equal parts flour, mix it up. And this starter I got from my sister-in-law. and she got it from a coworker, and it's pretty active. Usually I only have to feed it once, and then it doubles in size, and then I can bake with it, or I can make the dough the next day. My sister is really good at making sourdough, and she texts pictures of her sourdough in a family group chat, and she's been experimenting, which I haven't tried yet, making sourdough using cold starter from her fridge, and it's working. She doesn't feed it first and then make her dough.
Okay, I'm almost done.
Okay.
I forgot one little step, which is kind of important.
It's gonna be perfect timing because I'm almost done with this. This is pretty runny. I'm gonna feed it, give it a little bit more flour. And then I'm just gonna set this on my counter, and then maybe this weekend, hopefully this weekend, I'll have some time to make up some sourdough. If any of you all have a recommendation on someone who has a lot of sourdough recipes that are with fresh milled flour, I would love to know who those people are. I have really only done sourdough using all-purpose flour. I did make one loaf using fresh milled flour, but we had so much bread in the house that I just threw it in the freezer, and it's been sitting in the freezer, and I haven't pulled it out yet to try it, which is kind of crazy. But I'm kind of nervous that it is going to be bad, so I'm just going to have to turn it into breadcrumbs. That's what I do if I make bread products that don't end up tasting very good, or if I make more than we can go through. I just turn it into breadcrumbs. I don't think unless we've been out of town I've ever, unless it's, yeah, I don't know, maybe a couple times I've actually bought breadcrumbs, because usually I have so much extra bread around here that, so it's kind of like a thick pancake consistency.
All right.
Okay, we ready?
We have just over 17,500 entries.
Wow. Thank you everyone who entered.
So that's good,
I'm
but
so excited.
10 winners is a lot, so
Yeah.
there's still a good chance.
Okay, so there's my sourdough. I usually will just take a marker and mark it. What I need to get is a dry erase marker, or a wet erase marker. That's what I need to get, but I'm just going to do that, and that way I can track it. I can never seem to find rubber bands around here when I need them, so that's why I usually do that.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, I've got a
That was perfect
transition
timing.
over here.
Those were little kitchen projects I had to do anyway, so thank you for hanging out with me as we got those done.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
If we're ready to start, I'm going to
Okay.
click spin, and it's going to spin for the first winner of
Okay.
10. Here we go.
I'll just bring these over. The first winner.
The first winner, yes.
So we're drawing one winner at a time.
Okay, and the first winner is Kedrick Davis. Without much more aplomb and without further ado, let's just go for the next one.
Okay. So did you put the name up? I can't see.
Yeah, the name will show up. The full list of 10 will be there. So
Okay.
Leslie King is the second. Sorry, I wish you could see.
Yeah, I can't see.
You kind of have chosen not to see, like you don't like to see too much about the stream.
I can't. It's hard for me to look at the chat and keep a conscious train
of thought.
Yeah, conscious train of thought.
Stream of
Yeah,
consciousness.
Yeah.
Maria Scott is our third winner. Next winner is, we should have had sound effects.
Yeah, like a.
There was something on this app that was like kind of annoying. Patricia Everlith is fourth. Nancy Mayer is fifth.
I can't wait to call you guys to see if you guys already have them or if these are adding to your collection.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be so fun.
Okay, sixth is Rituja Childs. Sorry if I mispronounced that. We've gotten lucky so far.
Yeah.
Winner number 7 is Alice Arce, or Ark.
Yeah, I feel like I should be like holding up the names or something.
I'm sorry. You could go. You can go to your left like this, other way.
So.
I guess right. You're right. Noah Witten is 8. Oops, I lost my screen. 9 is Rebecca Whelan. And sorry, I know that's off the screen, but I will adjust when we're through. Rebecca Whelan is number 9. And the final winner is Linda Horbison. Congratulations.
Yay!
And I think I got through without any of the Bart Simpson-esque names catching me. Let's see. There's the full list of our 10. Just to reiterate, we will be calling you later today. And depending on your phone numbers, we'll call you at different times. And I will say, too, I'm sorry if you have this name and it's not you, because there are definitely duplicate names.
I didn't think
There's
about that.
a unique identifier next to each of them that lets me know who actually is the winner. But
Okay.
yeah, we will be reaching out to these winners. And I'm sorry if you do have the same name. That's unfortunate. You could still feel kind of lucky in a way because, I mean, what are the odds, right? But yeah, that's that.
Awesome. Well, that was a lot of fun. So the next video you all are going to be getting from me is going to be the Blackstone video where we make 5 recipes on the Blackstone, and they were pretty delicious. One of them being our absolute favorite. What I'm going to do now is I need to go change and do a bunch of computer work because I'm working on a video where we did 5 slow cooker dinners. And then for all the weekend, hopefully I will be out in the garden planting out the peppers, melons, pumpkins, and squash. So it's going to be a very, very busy and fun weekend spending time outside. So I got to get my computer work done so that I can switch focus to outside.
And then I will say, too, just to reiterate, maybe you
Oh,
already
yeah.
did because I was very tuned out while I was doing the data. But for those of you that have not won, there are deep discounts on the
Oh.
Mother's Day sale for GreenStalk right now. So
Yes.
it's not a blanket amount across the board, but
And the GreenStalk sale runs until
the 15th.
the 5th. I was going to say, don't quote me, but I was going to say the 15th. And you can get either size of these with the discounts. Both of them are on sale right now. So I want to thank you for being here and happy Mother's Day to all of you. I really appreciate the fact that you all take time to spend time with me. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And if you want to watch more videos, I'll pop them here or here. I'm not sure which side. And we can't wait to see you next time. Thanks for participating in the giveaway. Hopefully we can do more of these in the future.
Bye, friend.